challenge is on.
Videos in education have expanded rapidly during the last few decades. With the growth of digital video online and easier production and editing processes using smartphones and other user-friendly devices and tools, videos represent an exciting opportunity to support effective education. The proliferation of videos on the internet, whether we like it or not, is radically changing the way people learn around the world. Today, one can find enormous collections of videos on the internet put there to be educational in some way. In many cases, these videos are how-to videos that demonstrate some type of skill, such as how to play the guitar or calculate the area of a triangle. Instruction in this form is a vast resource for both teachers and students. Additionally, videos can be used in a wide variety of other ways, which together are a powerful and creative tool, which is important for teachers and students to understand how to harness. So, how much do teachers and students need to know about videos in education? One can argue that competencies relating to how videos can be integrated into teaching will increasingly need to be taught in teacher education programs and offered as professional development to teachers in all educational jurisdictions and at all levels. Overall, videos used in these educational contexts can be referred to as educational videos, precisely because they have an intended educational use. And there is a lot more to educational videos than just watching videos. Now, of course, teachers do not need to become professional filmmakers. However, teachers will increasingly be expected to use the tools at their disposal to create video content. Educational video productions can be quickly produced and of low production quality, as long as there is a solid pedagogical objective.
One of the approaches we use, for example, with our students who are doing a qualification for further education, is to ask them to make very short video selfies. So they can just do it privately, a minute and a half, talk to their smartphone or whatever. And that's the first video they've ever made often. And they find it a difficult experience, but once they've got past that, then they feel more confident to perhaps go and video in their classroom for 10 minutes and start using it in other ways, asking their own students to use it as well. So I think that's actually one of the biggest barriers, is actually the confidence to get started.
The EDIT Educational Video Challenge is an international event bringing together teacher educators and students from across Europe. Its goals? To support greater use of educational videos and to build bridges between countries and cultures. A challenge event refers to a competition-style gathering modeled after hackathons more commonly organized in the computer sciences and information technology fields. Hackathons, as such, are often 2 to 3 day events when a group of people are brought together, given a task to accomplish, and then you see who comes up with the best solution. The Educational Video Challenge, naturally, focuses on educational videos, and so all submissions have an intended educational outcome. Being a competition, submissions are reviewed by a jury, and winners are then chosen. Teachers need versatile pedagogical models to help students learn in every possible way. In current educational contexts, videos can have a very effective role, whether it's sharing study materials, documenting student work, or showing competence.
I see all sorts of roles for video in teaching and learning. Some of the classrooms I visit colleges, vocational education settings. People are using instructional videos, they're getting students to create their own instructional videos, which I think is a really effective way of doing things.
It's very educative for the students and it's interesting for students. They can use their own smartphones or tablets and they are really part of something. I've seen lots of joy when they're doing it.
But there's also opportunities for recording practice. So particularly for teachers working in classrooms to record their own practice, use that as a tool to help with reflection, personal development, discussion of challenges and a discussion of practice. I think that's another really interesting example.
One of the key elements of the Educational Video Challenge has been defining the term video pedagogy. Video pedagogy can be defined as the production and viewing of video for educational purposes to support effective teaching and learning. Video pedagogy has a lot to offer, and it is certainly a vital part of e-learning, blended learning, and competence-based education. It is exploring the concept of video pedagogy that underlies what the challenge is about. Jury members, event organizers, and students alike engage in dialogue about what this concept is and how it's linked to the learning and teaching culture in the schools represented in the event.
Oh, I think there's some wonderful opportunities to just get a little bit of a glimpse into education in other countries, to see completely different perspectives, different ideas. There's some fantastic creativity in some of the videos that I've seen. You get a feel for some of the issues as well that are being raised and discussed in different education programs, so I think that's really valuable. So lots of benefits of this kind of challenge.
The anger volcano.
Okay, so when something makes you angry, most of the time you'll find a few things will tend to happen. Grown-ups and children alike will sometimes raise their voices and begin to talk louder or even sometimes start to shout. This is a really common one. If you're the type of person who doesn't like confrontation, getting angry might make you upset, and alongside frustration this can sometimes result in crying or feeling very emotional. In extreme cases, getting very angry could even mean that you might lash out at whoever it is that's making you feel this way. Although all of these are totally natural ways of coping with an overwhelming emotion, they're not always appropriate. And if you happen to be one of these people who find that sometimes you overreact, there are things you can do to help yourself. Imagine yourself as a volcano. On the outside, you're calm and collected. But on the inside, you're full of hot, dangerous lava. Now, volcanoes can go for hundreds, if not thousands of years without ever erupting. These are called dormant volcanoes. Thinking about these eruptions on a human scale, imagine an outpouring of shouting or lashing out as a lava from a volcano. Try to imagine somebody you know who has good control of their temper, someone who you can look up to as a hero when it comes to controlling their anger. Now, this could be a teacher, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, anybody at all. What do you think the key is to them having this control? It's not that they don't get angry, because everybody gets angry. Everybody. It's that they've learned how to deal with it effectively. They've learned not to erupt. So once a volcano's erupted, you can't put the lava and clouds of ash back inside. And just like a volcano, things you do when you're erupting have the ability to hurt other people around you. When you get angry and shout or swear or lash out, these things can't be undone. A volcano explodes because of a huge build-up of pressure under the ground, and usually there'll be warning signals before it happens. Smoke might appear at the top of the volcano, seismic activity might occur to tell people that something's wrong. And when you begin to get angry, you'll have common signs too, and it's up for you to work these out. So, common signs when you're becoming angry. Sometimes you might get hot, you might feel hot and bothered before it happens. Your face might go red. You might feel your fists clenching up or your stature becoming rigid, but you'll notice these yourself. What happens is these are signs for you to take control, to stop yourself erupting. And one of the things you can do is start taking deep breaths when these start happening. Another one is to count backwards from 10, and if you're in the right situation, to take some time out of the situation. Another one is to speak to people that you trust and get whatever it is that's making angry off your chest. That's a really good one. But when you feel the initial signs beginning to start, stopping yourself from eruption should be your main goal. Keep the lava inside and don't let it hurt anybody else. Remember, when you're in school, everybody has the right to be safe, and just like you wouldn't want somebody erupting next to you, everybody else thinks the same. So, keep that lava under control.
This is what the challenge jury had to say about the anger volcano. The technique used was very impressive. It made me think of an RSA animation video. It's probably very useful with schools to introduce the issue. The volcano video presents a relevant topic in a creative way. Society is faced with an increasing barrage of events that can lead to frustration. This reflects on the children in the classroom. This cartoon presents an effective anger coping mechanism for unpredictable and disturbing events.
Around 2012, our school was working on a strategy for digital pedagogy. And using educational videos was already quite a big part of our practices, and we certainly wanted to take that even further. And one of the ideas that was kind of thrown around many times was educational video festival. I was in Linz, Austria in the spring of 2012, and as a part of my teacher exchange there, we ended up talking with colleagues from Austria that how could we cooperate more.
When I talked with Janne, we found out that both of us were very interested in the use of video in education, and that we actually, both of us at both institutions, were already working using video in teacher education.
We ended up making the choice that, okay, we have to do something together.
When I visited Oulu a while later, Blair Stevenson came into the team, and he had the idea of doing a kind of video challenge in a hackathon-style.
And we knew that there were already all these film events going on online where you had to make a film in 48 hours or something. So we thought that, hey, why not use this concept to create educational videos?
And so actually the idea for the edit was born.
2013, we did the first run. It was basically just me giving a few video conference lectures to Austria and participating from Finland via online tools, the Austrian students making videos. But the next year, 2014, we already had 3 countries, Finland, Austria and Germany. And it worked out quite well, and we felt like it was really nice for the students.
It brings a lot of discussion among the students, what is the educational value of a video, and I think it's actually the best way to transport the idea of the potential video has in teacher education and in education as a whole.
2015 we already had 6 partners, so 6 schools participating, and we realized that, wow, this might actually grow.
Tense.
I'm always there for you. I'm always there for you. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, Years ago, I was there for you. Just now I'm starting to realize, while you were living your life, I buried myself in pointless hopes of being your hero. I have been yours since the day we met. How long have I been waiting for you? If I had taken the chance, I would have been happy. I have been talking, but not speaking. You will probably forget that I ever existed. My thoughts are dark. I'm going to cry. By Monday, I will have left. The last few hours will have been the worst.
This is what the challenge jury had to say about tense. It's a creative demonstration video. The title works on many levels. The acting was tense, atmosphere was tense, and the content poetic and artistic. Tense used simple yet excellent film techniques to present a difficult to understand subject. In a simple way, the makers have been able to clarify these verb, tense, and aspect combinations.
I wrote, shot and edited a short film Tense, and doing so I had great fun. It was a really good experience in just 72 hours to write, shoot and edit the whole film. And yes, now I'm motivated to make some other movies, and I'm very pleased that it was the second place we won.
During the 2015 Educational Video Challenge, 44 videos were submitted from 6 countries across Europe. Countries represented were Finland, Austria, Germany, Scotland, Romania, and Spain. A webinar was organized before the challenge. Students had the chance to familiarize themselves with video pedagogy and the process of making a video. There was also information on copyright issues and privacy laws. Some workshops were also arranged locally, so students could work with cameras and editing software before the actual challenge began. Most of the preparation for the event happened online, as well as the jury work. On the first day, the challenge was announced. The challenge included the use of 3 words, or concepts. These concepts were cloud, key, and hero. These 3 words needed to be incorporated into the videos in some way. The length of the videos was maximum 4 minutes. All videos must be published before the deadline. After forming teams, students started to brainstorm, plan, film, and edit.
We have done a video about teachers' time for students and how important it is to have time for students, to counsel and meet them and listen to them.
It was an interesting project. I was actress and I haven't been such before. There was young people and we older people and we have very good cooperation. We didn't write a script very well, so that was challenging. The whole project was educational for me.
During the second and third days, jury members began to review the published videos. The assessment of video submissions emphasized the educational value of a video. In video pedagogy, one must think of who is learning and at what point of the learning process the video is to be used. The challenge jury also looks at the technical and creative aspects of the video. However, the nature of this event is not to stress technical issues in editing or sound. The event was organized to encourage future teachers to use the technology for the good of learning.
I think it's really important that students and us organizers understand that this is an educational project and we are allowed to make mistakes. Students are allowed to make mistakes and learn from them, because that's pretty much the philosophy behind using the videos as a part of learning experience as well. We have to allow ourselves and our students to make mistakes, because that's pretty much the best way to learn.
During the last day, jury members met online and checked the evaluation scores. By the end of the final day, a top 20 shortlist had been screened and the winners announced. The Waste Hero.
I am the best hero. What are you doing here? You can use this again. I'll be back.
Ein bisschen drucken, Alex. Wollt ihr was haben? Das ist nämlich wieder verkehrt. Nein, ich krieg's nicht.
This is what the jury had to say about The Waste Hero. From an educational point of view, it showed a meaningful and inclusive approach, powerful and practical. The Waste Hero includes a very important message, and it solves the problem in a very funny, cute, and pedagogical way. Waste Hero was a great combination of all the criteria set for this competition. It was an interesting story, good filming, and creative background.
The EDIT2015 was a very new experience for us to make a movie in 72 hours with 3 things, and we have never done this before. So we learned the time management, to have an idea, to make the idea on the paper, and then you have to think about it, how you can make the movie and how is the message behind the movie. And after the 72 hours, I can say we are very happy about the movie, and I think we have done it very good.
Everybody can recycle. Just do it.
So what does the future hold for the Educational Video Challenge? Next year's event is expected to be even bigger, and organizers hope to see submissions not only from Europe, but also from around the world.